Hi everyone, this is Kathleen Deggelman. Welcome to our How to Recruit on Social Media for Network Marketers. My story is that I started in the world of network marketing in 2006. I was in corporate America for over 20 years before that, and while there were a lot of things I enjoyed about it, I reached the point where I'm sure a lot of people have reached before me, is that I was tired of having a boss. I was tired of somebody telling me what time I needed to be there and how long I needed to stay, and I was really tired of having very limited days of vacation. So I started to look around. I became a real estate agent in San Francisco for a few years, and that was satisfying some of what I wanted. But in addition to creating financial freedom, I wanted to create time freedom too. And thankfully, I was introduced to the world of network marketing in 2006, and I haven't looked back since. I think it is the best business model on the planet, and I've been blessed to have made millions of dollars in this industry. And I am very, very happy to be here. I love that our industry, according to Robert Kiyosaki, and I believe it to be true, is credited with developing the whole person, financially, spiritually, personally, emotionally. There's so many good things that come out of the industry of network marketing that I'm very, very proud to be a part of it. So the topic for today is how to recruit on social media for network marketers. And I can tell you that I went into this world kicking and screaming about probably 3 years ago. An assistant that was working with me, a much younger, wonderful, beautiful gal named Anne, basically dragged me into the world of Facebook. And at the time, I just said, why do I need another inbox? I can't keep up with the one that I have. I didn't get it. And she said, you're going to go through a learning curve. You're not going to like it at first. Then you're going to slowly actually come around, then you're going to get it. And she said, you'll reach the point where you'll wonder how you lived without it. And I can't believe it, but I am there. I love social media, and in the last year, I have sponsored over 65 people from Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So let's get started. I'm just going to share with you some of my tips, some of my do's and don'ts for how to recruit on social media, for how to be more effective in terms of recruiting and prospecting. So I'm going to enlarge this screen and we'll get started. So these are the major social media sites to focus on, in my opinion. We've got Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. What I would encourage you to do is to set a goal to recruit. If you're just getting started, set a goal to recruit at least one person per month if you're just getting started. And if you've been at this for a while, then set a goal to recruit one person per week every week using one of these tools. Facebook is obviously the giant. It's always changing. It's great for prospecting. Interaction is really, really important on Facebook, and we'll talk about that. Lifestyle pictures are also really important. I have only recently added Instagram just in the last 10 days. It's actually really fun, and it's definitely hot right now. It's growing like crazy. Hashtags are really important on Instagram, and I was fairly new to that. It's what I'm reading is that younger people are checking Instagram now first before they check everything else. So in terms of Instagram, the only place you can have a link is in your profile. So take a look at my Instagram profile, Kath Deg, and you can start to get a sense of how it works. LinkedIn is great for the more professional community, more business-minded. It's great to interact with people in groups that resonate with you. YouTube, what's so great about YouTube is because videos are so important. They're more personal, people see you, and it's a great way to brand you. So videos are key in this world. Pinterest is really popular with women. It's a great place for inspiration. Gorgeous pictures are important here. And Twitter is also very powerful. Twitter's trying to be more like Facebook. Images and hashtag matter here too. One of the cool things about Twitter is you can search on the topic that relates to your business. So when you're in your Twitter feed, you can search on I need to lose weight, or I have acne problems, or I want to look younger. All the people that come up on that are your potential leads, and you can start connecting with them. So I would encourage you that if you're new to this, or feel like you're just kind of getting your feet wet, focus on one or two and master that before you add another one, because otherwise I think it could be quite overwhelming. And the other thing I would really encourage you to do is to be patient. This takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and effort and strategic thinking to create a following and to create connections with people. And probably the biggest mistake people make is they try to connect with people too quickly. They try to pitch too fast. I would encourage you to create a daily social media routine. Choose the one or two that you're going to master, that you're going to focus on, and then create a social media routine for that. It's Sunday night or Monday morning, and think about the posts, think about the topics that you want to cover, the personal pictures that you're going to share, the resources that you're going to reference, and map it out. It's fun to be organic. On a daily basis, you're out and about and you see a picture that you want to share, or a moment that you want to capture and share with people. That's great, but it's also good to set a strategy at the beginning of the week for what you want to accomplish, for how many people you want to make connections with, and to incorporate that into your daily routine. So first I want to talk about what doesn't work. And what doesn't work, and what I see happen very often, because I get a lot of messages like this in my inbox too, is the interaction can be very one way. You need to be commenting on your comments. You need to be liking your likes. You need to retweet your tweets. I think why most people fail at prospecting online is it can't be a one-way street. You've got to interact with people, and you don't want to be too pitchy. I'm making fun of this used car salesperson here, but if you come out of the gate right away with your link or your opportunity or your products, or why this person needs this, you're going to come off a little bit like this guy in the picture. You need to connect with people and relate to them first. Remember, in social media, you want to be posting 80% value, inspiration, lifestyle content, and 20% business. You have to provide value. That is what is going to draw people to you. And this may be hard to hear, but your business is where it is today because of what you have put into it. You have to be willing to do the work if you want to get the results. And building a social media following takes time. Like I said, it doesn't happen overnight, but it's like anything. If you do it consistently, a little bit every day, if you have 30 minutes, great. If you have an hour, great. I don't know that you need to spend too much more time than that. You can accomplish a lot in 30 minutes. But if you set a goal at the beginning of the week that you're going to connect with at least 5 people this week, or 10 people this week, or 5 people every day, and you do that consistently for a month, it's amazing what you will be able to create in terms of a strategic following. So again, this needs to be interactive, and you need to provide value. I see so many people just putting up their links. It starts to look like, look at me, look at me, look at me. When you want to engage with people, the best way to do that is to ask questions and listen. When you are sending a private message to somebody, make sure that your first couple of messages are completely link-free. If you put your link in your first message, those are the kind of messages I often get, because I get pitched several times a day on a new product or a new opportunity. If somebody includes the link and just kind of says this is something you should take a look at, I know that they really aren't trying to connect with me. They haven't probably looked at my page to find something in common. They haven't complimented me on anything. It's all about them. And so we don't spend a whole lot of time on those messages. So I would really encourage you that your first couple conversations should be link-free. Don't pitch. And a mentor just told this to me recently: don't tell the end of the movie too soon. You want to create curiosity. You don't want to tell people right out of the gate, this is what I'm doing, and I think you'd be so great. Give people a chance to get to know you and you to know them, and again, provide value. Interact with people. If you find somebody online that you think you would connect with, spend a moment or two and look at their profile. Look at the kind of pictures and things that they're posting on their Facebook page, and then comment on. I mean, maybe you love their banner page. Maybe they have a really great picture of their family. Comment on that and compliment them and engage them in a conversation long before you send your link and say this is something you have to look at. We don't pay attention to those kind of messages. The amount of value you give is directly equivalent to how much money you make. And there's lots of different ways to provide value. You can source great blogging sites. You can refer to great resources for people, depending on what your niche is. Find a few resources that you're going to refer to regularly because they resonate with the crowd that you want to attract. There's lots of different ways to provide value. You can blog, you can provide great inspirational quotes every day, you can provide posts or tweets that make people laugh, that make people think. But as you're trying to engage with people, definitely think what is the end result? What do you want to do? Your community, the bigger your value is, the bigger your community is. Take the time, take an interest and find a need. Again, this takes time. You've got to have some patience. Don't be in a rush to sell somebody on why they need to be with you in your business or to try your products, whatever that is. If you take time, people will actually appreciate that you're connecting with them. Have several conversations back and forth, and if it seems like it's somebody that you do connect with, get on the phone with them. I think a lot of times we stay online too long when really we should be talking voice to voice. Give people a chance to share with them what is going on with them. So again, interaction is key. These are the types of posts that I would encourage you to post on a regular basis. I mean, everybody's going to have a different bandwidth of what they can do. I'm posting on average 4 to 6 times a day. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less. Choose what is going to work for you and your schedule. But as always, I would encourage you to stretch a little bit. If you think you can post twice a day, maybe you can post 3 times a day. And these are the different types of posts. Lifestyle is key. People love to see what you're doing, what you're up to. Not necessarily what you had for breakfast. I saw something recently where Facebook posted how many pictures of food had been posted that day. Sometimes it's interesting to share, some fabulous thing that we just ate. Like I shared a gelato that I just got to eat in Italy last month. But if you're out and about and there's just a beautiful view or just a really interesting piece of architecture or a statue that resonated with you when you were on your morning walk, share interesting lifestyle pictures, fun pictures that make people curious as to what you're up to. And one of the things that's trending right now, I think especially on Facebook, is more stories. People, we're all putting a lot of quotes out there that are short, to the point, often very inspirational. But people love the stories too, like something that happened to you when you were young, something that happened to you in your business last week. Get personal, be vulnerable. And that was something that I had to learn. It took me a while to learn that because coming from the very corporate American background, getting personal online was something that I kind of felt like, that was reserved for, just family and friends. But the more professionally personal you are and the more sharing of what's really going on for you on your posts, the more people are going to get to know you, and you're going to attract the people that resonate with you, and the bigger your following will be. Again, more interaction. On Facebook especially, the most important number isn't how many likes you have, it's not how many fans you have, it's how many people are talking. I mean, somebody might have several thousand fans, but if 10 people are talking, one of the reasons for that might be because they're not interacting with their following. So make sure that when somebody comments on your comment, you comment back. Keep the conversation going. I've looked at some pages, and I've been guilty of it in the past too, where somebody will ask a question and I didn't see it for a week. You know, that tells the other people that are following you that you're not really paying attention, that you're not really engaged, and that maybe it's a little bit more about you than it is about them. The more you interact, the more people are going to know that you're there and that you actually really are interested and that you care about the people that are attracted to you. One of the posts you can do is to ask random questions. Questions like, you know, what inspires you the most in your life? What do you love the best in your life? If there was one thing that you could change in your life, what would that be? That provokes some interesting conversations, and it's a great way to get to know people and improve the interaction. Inspirational quotes are always great. It's so easy to find them. I mean, you just go to Google and, I mean, let's say you want to post something about success or a happy life, and you go to Google and you put in the search bar pictures of a happy life, pictures of success, pictures of people joining your business. You can find a picture for almost anything, and then you can customize it with your the words that you put in the caption. So inspirational quotes are great. We're always looking for ways to be inspired, and I know on a regular basis I'm inspired by the quotes that I see on my on all the different forums that we have. Share resources. This is one that I just learned about recently. I mean, whatever your niche is, I mean, mine is beauty and wellness, so I'm starting to share beauty bloggers. My niche is also entrepreneurs, so I'm starting to share things like Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki. Find a few resources that you can post on a regular basis. The resources that you're sharing will really appreciate you, and you will become connected to all of their fans and following too. Congratulations are also really big on all the different social media sites. People love to see other people succeeding, and it's one of the ways that you can raise the curiosity as to what's going on with you and your business. This is just, I'm going to share with you a couple of examples. This is a post that I put up on Facebook for Mother's Day last week. And basically 2,000 people liked it, and there were almost 1,000 shares. Now this doesn't happen all the time, but I think the reason why this resonated is it's a very attractive picture from a photography sense. It's a great caption. A pretty face gets old, a nice body will change, but a good woman will always be a good woman. But I also think it's because I personalized the message. I said, love this message. We should all hope to be arm in arm like this someday. I took my mom to her 70th high school reunion earlier this year. I looked around at all the women's faces and just thought about how many birthday cakes they had made, how many Christmas dinners they had hosted, how many smiles they had shared, and tears they had shed. Here is to lives well lived. Happy Mother's Day. And I think the reason why this went viral is because I think it's a great image, it's a great message, and I personalized it. I think it was partly because of the story that I included. So that was really fun to see, and you know, to get, I think there were about 75 comments on this too. So that really helped in terms of the interaction. And then I went through and I added friendships with a bunch of those people, or requested friendships to be added with, you know, you can't do like 20 at a time, but I just did 5 a day for a few days, because that's, you know, if they like this, then we might have some other things in common too. This is another example of a post. I mean, my niche is beauty and wellness, so putting up you know, a beautiful celebrity with a great quote. I think happiness is what makes you pretty, period. Happy people are beautiful. They become like a mirror and they reflect that happiness. And then I added happiness is the best cosmetic. This got 21 shares and 81 people liked it. Those are great results for your Facebook page. The more people you get liking and sharing, the better. And when you start to get people sharing your posts, make sure you go back in and like their share. Click on the where it says 21 shares. It opens up all the people that have shared your post. Go back in and like each one of those so that they see that you're interacting with them and that you appreciate that they forwarded your information. And here's an example of an inspirational quote. One kind word can change someone's entire day, the golden rule. This got 79 likes and 35 shares. So again, I went in and I liked each one of those shares. And I think that this resonated with people because it's a pretty picture and it's a great message. Another thing you want to do in terms of just lifestyle and images is share a sneak peek of your life. People, if you really want to, get yourself out there, you're going to have to share a little bit about who you are, what you're up to, and some of the people that you are in your life. I mean, it can be your spouse, your significant other, it can be your friends, your family, your kids, your team, but people want to see real pictures of real people doing fun things. So share pictures of you and your family and friends, and like I said, that wasn't easy for me in the beginning because that little voice inside of you comes in and says, who cares about that? Well, they actually do, and they appreciate that you're being vulnerable. So if it feels a little risky at first, just try it. The more you do it, the easier it will become. Share fun and interesting places. People love, love, love pictures of gorgeous places. I think it makes us happy as we look at that picture, and it evokes great memories. So remember to let people in. Take pictures at your team events, at your home parties, at your one-on-one, and at your big corporate events, and share those. Tag the people that are in them. And I mean, people just love to see people having a good time. And that's another way that you can provoke curiosity. Again, don't tell the whole movie. You don't necessarily have to say the name of your company all the time. You don't have to be promoting your product all the time. There's lots of ways to provoke curiosity. If your company has just opened up a new country, maybe you just want to post a beautiful picture of that country. Nothing to do with corporate or a logo or anything like that, and just say excited to get to start building here. Something more like that, as opposed to, join company X, we're coming here, who do you know, blah, blah, blah. All of that starts to sound like spam. I'm sorry to say, but it does. And again, make sure you respond to people who like your post. I can't emphasize that enough. So when you're reaching out to people, whether it's on Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, make sure you are not sending a cookie cutter message. If you could cut and paste the same message to dozens of people, then it's not nearly personal enough. And we see that from a mile away. Make sure you use their name. Spend a moment or two and look at their tweets, or look at their LinkedIn profile, or the pictures that they're posting on Facebook. Find something that you can comment on them that is personal about them. Find something in common that you have together and share that. Make sure you spend a moment or two and look at their profile first. Otherwise, you're going to look like somebody that's in this for you, not for them. And make sure you spend a moment and we don't want to spam people. Make sure that you're commenting on people that are right for you. Recently, I saw somebody that was showing up on my page a lot, and so I went and I checked out their profile. I was going to send them a message, but I looked at some of what they were writing, and I just thought, this isn't a person necessarily that I want to connect with. They weren't very positive. They were putting some pretty negative things up there, and I just thought, next, make sure you're looking for positive people and for people that will really resonate with you. And again, make sure that your first few conversations and your personal messages are link free. Oh, where'd I go? These are some great leading questions when you're starting those connections, when you're starting to send a personal message with somebody to connect with them. You could say, I noticed that we have this in common. I really love your banner picture, or that's a really cute picture of your kids. And then just ask them some questions. What do you do? How long have you been doing that? Have some engagement going back and forth. Have you ever thought about doing anything else? I love to travel. Do you? Do you have a plan B? And, I wouldn't start the conversation with this, but do you make the money you want? Do you make the money you need? As the conversation progresses, you can start asking more questions that are going to invite them to ask you what you're up to. And that's when you can start saying, well, I work with this company, and this is our products, and this is the opportunity. I mean, give them a chance to invite you to share that information. And again, it's the 80-20 rule. Most of us spend 80% telling and 20% asking, and we need to turn that around. We want to be telling 20% and 80% asking. So we want to listen a lot more than we talk, and especially in the beginning, it's so important to ask questions. And this is something that was new to me just a few months ago, the power of hashtags. You want to attract people who are searching for what you have to offer. And one way you can do that is in your posts, hashtag home business, hashtag dream life, hashtag travel the world, hashtag work from home, hashtag network marketing, hashtag enjoy life. Whatever it is, start getting comfortable with throwing a few hashtags into your posts because people do search on those hashtags and they'll find you. Make sure that the hashtags relate to your field, and you can find that by Googling it, and then use imagery that backs that up. So hashtags are pretty cool. It's pretty fun. So again, social media, I don't think it takes the place of all the traditional ways to build this business. If you want your team to duplicate, you need to teach them to make their list, to call their list, to do one-on-ones, to set up three-way calls with you, to host the home parties, to get everybody to the events, the corporate events, the annual conventions, and then add social media prospecting. I think of this as a tool in the toolbox. Yeah, I love it. I mean, my assistant was so right. I do wonder how I ever lived without it now. But I definitely don't think it's the only tool in the toolbox, but I think it's a great one to add and a great one to master. These are some closing techniques. Like I said earlier, I think we spend too much time online when after you've had some conversations and this is somebody that you resonate with and you connect with and they're starting to get interested in what you have to offer, get on the phone with them. You'll have a much better chance of telling your story and answering their questions and solving their need if you're voice to voice. And do tell your story. People do want to hear your story. Sometimes, again, that little voice gets inside of you and we leave big parts of our story out. I know that's something that I'm still learning. But the more you tell of your story, and I don't necessarily mean like an hour-long version of your story, but tell the highlights. Tell what motivated you to get into network marketing in the first place. Share some of the pain that you've gone through. Share your dreams. Share your desires. Share why you're doing this. There's a saying in this business that we always talk about, our why is so important. And it's true. And your why has to be pretty big because in order for you to build a serious network marketing business, you've got to have something that inspires you and that gets you going every day because we're all busy. Carving out the time to do this can sometimes seem a little bit daunting, but I can assure you, if you figure out what it is that you have in terms of the time each week and you do that consistently, and I would encourage you to add social media prospecting if you're not already, if you do that consistently, you'll be amazed at what you can do. And getting back to the closing techniques, it's okay if you don't have all the answers. I think that especially when we're first getting started with anything, we hesitate to pick up the phone or we hesitate to set up that one-on-one appointment because what if they ask you a question about your product or your compensation plan that you don't know? It's okay. You just say in a very professional way, that's a great question. I'm going to have to get the answer for you. I'll get that as soon as possible. Don't worry about if you don't know everything. You know way more about whatever it is than they do. You're looking for people that are open. You're looking for people that are motivated, ambitious, and self-starters. And it's easy to see those people, to see those traits on all the different social media sites. People's personalities, people's desires, people's motivations come through pretty quickly. So these are some posing questions, posturing questions. You know, when you're talking with somebody or as you're engaging in private messages, you know, this may or may not be for you, and then fill in the blank. Not sure if you're open to this, but based on what you shared with me already, I think you will want to take a look at this, and I'm sure you're going to love the products. So those are just a few questions, you know, that will lead you to advancing the conversation. Social media can absolutely change your business. It has definitely changed mine. It is a lot of fun. Today is a perfect day to start living your dreams. I wish each and every one of you tremendous success, and I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been helpful. If you're not connected with me on my website and you'd like to get my free copy of Secrets to Success for Entrepreneurs, go to my website, KathleenDeggelman.com. Enter your name and email, and I'll send that right over, and then I'll be sending my regular blog posts. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great day, everyone.